Welcome to the TPO Fly to Month. This month we're going to make a rubber leg stonefly. It's one of the flies I'm making to use as an anchor fly for the Yellowstone on my upcoming trip to Montana, but it's also a very underutilized fly for our eastern trout streams. I'm going to use a 52-63 here in a size 6, and I'm going to use a 3.8 millimeter bead. It's the largest bead size you can use for competition. It's going to create a lot of weight, and with the lead that we're going to use, this fly will get down to the bottom in any type of situation. So I'm going to tie in the front, I'm going to tie my antennas in, and I'm going to use brown silly legs, the same legs you would use to make a bass bug. That's what I'm going to use to make my rubber leg. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to spin the thread so it bites, I'm going to tie in the antenna one side, I'm going to tie in the antenna on the other side. A friend of mine, Mike Klubeck, can tell you how well these things work at the South Fork of the Snake and on the Madison River. We had a trip a couple years ago where we caught more cutthroat trout than you would imagine. I'm just going to make a whip half hitch there. Okay, I'm going to take my bead, I'm going to slide it back over the antennas so they push out the front of the fly. Then I'm going to get my 30 thousandths lead right there. This one's going to be heavy, so I'm going to start at the back of the rear of the fly. I'm going to try to get close to 20 wraps. There we go. This one's going to the bottom fast, guys. Slide that lead up to the front of the fly. I'm going to get my thread again. I'm going to create a little ramp at the rear of the fly here, because I'm going to use brown chenille for this. I'm going to wrap over the lead a little bit so that my chenille doesn't bite into the lead and get stuck and cause the body to look awkward. So I'm just going to wrap. Not going to completely cover it. I'm just going to wrap over it. It's a very impressionistic fly that does a very good job. Other variations you could do, you can use yellow and brown variegated chenille, you can use orange and brown variegated chenille. Alright, now I'm going to tie in the tail. I'm going to come back up to the lead wire to create a ramp. Then I'm going to come back. And there I have my tails and I have my antennas. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brown chenille, I'm going to strip the end of the chenille so it's like this. So I have that. Now I can tie it in, and it's not very bulky and it's easy to work with, just like working with a thread. Alright. The next part of my fly are the legs. Some people tie in 3 sets of legs on their rubber legs. I don't think it makes a difference. I just tie in 2. I think it's a definite trigger, and you can't make this fly without tying in the legs on the legs on the side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make 1 thread wrap. I'm going to put it in position. I'm going to make 5 or 6 thread wraps. I'm going to pull it. There's 1 set of legs. This is a very good, easy to tie pattern, like for a beginner fly tire, and it catches fish. So you don't have to be an expert fly tire, and Davey will tell you that I'm not. So here we go. I have my 2 legs. So I have my antennas, my 2 sets of legs, my chenille tied in, and my tails at the end. Now I'm going to take my thread. I'm going to come all the way up to the front of the fly here. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to take my chenille. I'm going to start wrapping my body of the fly. Just got to be careful with the chenille legs here. So you want them to stand out straight. There we go. Now come up to the front of the fly. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, this fly isn't one that's a perfectionist type fly. You don't have to heavily weight these if you're going to fish shallower water, but the Yellowstone River, where I plan on using these on Tuesday, is very swift, fast moving water. So I need a heavy anchor fly to get down to the bottom here. Almost the end of my monocord here, so it's slippery. I'm going to create a little bit of thread between the bead and the rest of the body. Going to whip finish. Okay. Now I'm going to cut off. Now I'm going to trim the legs. I'm going to trim all the appendages, as you would say. I'm going to leave them about 1 inch long. This way it springs a lot, it creates a lot of motion in the water, easily detectable for the fish. That one doesn't need to be trimmed, it's close to size. I'm trimming them all about 1 inch. Oops. Let's get this one. There's my rubber leg stonefly. And if you look, it's pretty much tied in the round with the exception of the legs. And just in the vise, the legs wobble nicely. Imagine what that does to the fish. It must drive them crazy. Have fun tying a few of these, and like I said, just don't think it's a Western pattern. Give them a go on our streams at home. Good luck with these flies, guys.